Hey, if you're getting here now, I'm Clay Souza. I'm a wedding portrait photographer in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, and you are at 808 with Clay. Watching this at Clay Souza Official. Is you're either on Instagram, you either on YouTube, or you either on Facebook watching our live. So at 808 with Clay, we come live every Monday and Wednesday at 8:08 p.m. Eastern Time to talk about photography. We talk about lighting, we talk about composition, we talk about posing, which are, in my opinion, the three big pillars of an amazing photography. We want to move the needle. We want to move you from good photography to amazing, because good nowadays is not good enough, right? So we need to keep pushing, and this is my goal here, is to help you to get to that point. So this is for you to get to answer, to ask your questions, and get your questions answered, and untangle this photography thing. That's what it is. So, and tonight we're going to talk about something something which I think is very interesting, is about composition, right? Because you can have good lighting, you can have good poses, but if composition is not correct, there's going to be something missing there. And we are also going to talk about a little bit of how to use depth of field and focus points to create a little bit of a different concept in your photography, right? But before we get started, like I do every time, I like going through the questions, because people send me questions, I answer them through DM, and sometimes I like to think that somebody's question might be also your question. So let's put those questions out there and get them answered. So the first question is, I'm a studio photographer who is moving into shooting outdoors now, and I always shot with a tripod. Should I use a tripod when I'm shooting outdoors or not? The tripod question, right? I'll tell you this. I don't use a tripod. I use a tripod when I'm shooting headshot, static thing. And I've seen photographers shooting families with tripod, which is fine. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. Whatever is right or wrong, it's just the way I work. I do not use a tripod when I'm photographing outdoors, because it's one more thing for me to carry. It's one more piece of equipment, and that's going to limit my composition. I really believe the tripod is going to limit your composition if you're shooting outdoors, right? So you're going to shoot everything through the same point of view, and it will get in the way. And I do understand it's take some time to make a transition from shooting in the studio with a tripod all the time to going outdoors. It's a transition, but a transition that needs to happen. It needs to happen, that you have to have that transition. When you are shooting outdoors, you really don't want to be dealing with tripod. That's going to interfere with client interaction and angles, and so my opinion is no. Like I said before, I have seen photographers shooting outdoors with tripod, shooting families, high school senior using a tripod. This is not what I like to do. I like to have my hands on the camera. I like laying down. I like shooting different angles and that type of stuff. Well, yeah, but we're talking about, yeah, Jeff, landscape photography needs a tripod. Yeah, use a tripod. But we're talking about shooting families outdoors with a tripod. Yeah, landscape photography, yeah, especially if you can do long exposure, yeah, you're going to use a tripod, definitely. Or, I mean, I've done long exposure, put my camera at the top of the camera bag, because I don't carry a tripod with me. So for me, it's just one more piece of equipment. I already bring a whole lot of stuff that sometimes I don't even use. But yeah, for me, it's one more equipment. So my verdict on that one is no. Don't just go through the pain of not shooting with a tripod. It's not going to be that bad. Just keep pushing. You're going to get there. So that was question number one. Now we get question number two here. Is somebody talking about decompress? We're talking about, we had a conversation with this photographer. He was asking about how do I do to decompress, because we're shooting under pressure all the time, right? How do I do, what do I do to get creative, to renew the creative juices and keep them flowing and not get burned out? That is a fantastic question, and we all should be thinking about this, because it's a very easy thing to happen. We get into the routine of the day. It's like one client after another and one issue after another have to solve, and suddenly the year, I mean, think about this. We are what, end of October now, so we have November, December, and the year is gone. Where did 2021 go? Where did it go? We didn't even see that year happening, right? I mean, we've been busy, super busy since the beginning of the year, no stop, and already at the end of the year. So it is important to have something that you decompress. I have a few hobbies. I'm addicted motorcycle racer. I love motorcycle racing. I watch every single race. Actually, on my way to the wedding in Topsail Beach at the coast, I was wearing my Yamaha shirt because the guy that I follow, a MotoGP, just won the World Championship. So, and he raced for Yamaha. So I in tribute of him, I had my Yamaha shirt. So that's one of my hobbies, right? So another thing that we do with creative, we go to workshops. When you go to a workshop that you have the opportunity to shoot with some other people, that helps a lot. So you kind of decompress, you have your time. Although I must say this, I've been going to workshops and I've been a lot of time spending my time teaching other people than really shooting. So this last time we went to Shooter Fest, I didn't shoot a whole lot. I led 2 sunrise sessions that were awesome. So I didn't shoot a whole lot for myself. But I always try to put something that's going to let me work by myself, shoot by myself, get a model or something. That's where I get the creative. So actually, in fact, November 7th, this is not to brag, this is just show you the hassle. November 6th is my birthday. We have a wedding that day. It's a Saturday, I believe. So it's a Saturday. November 6th is a Saturday, my birthday. If you want to send me a gift, thank you very much. I have to plug in. It was an easy plug. So, so you shouldn't do wedding. It's a 10-hour wedding. You're going to come back here. And November 7th, I'm getting together with Brandon and another friend of mine. And we're going to go, what is it, Brandon? Is it Virginia? I don't even remember what it is anymore. We're going to go and do some creative shooting. Like just the 3 of us, I guess. You know, put our heads together and come up with some beautiful stuff and yeah, and you know, and really create. So this is the time that we have to sit down with people. Yeah, you think I'm going to be able to pronounce that name, right? Swananua Mansion. I have no idea what it is. So anyway, it's a beautiful mansion, a beautiful place that Brandon has rented for us. So we're going to go there and shoot. So it's in Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountain. So yeah, we're going to spend the whole day there shooting. So this is like a really good time for us to decompress and really create, right? Because this is, we try not to do stuff that are not used to with clients, right? But we're gonna go and put our heads together, and then we go there and have fun with a few models and just shoot, right? And really create something unique. That's a really good way for me to decompress. I really like that. You know, having that time. I mean, I don't care. We're going to shoot the wedding on Saturday, get back, charge batteries and stuff, and I'm driving down all the way up to Virginia to do that because it's going to be important. It's going to be a one-day drive. I'm going to go, drive, and come back the same day. I'll try to do that. Otherwise, I'll grab some hotel somewhere and just crash for the night. So that's how we decompress, and it's really important, guys, to have that time for yourself to do things that you like doing, especially if you're extremely busy. And even if you're not that busy, you know, find models, buy dresses, do all creative shooting, because that's going to get you to practice techniques that you maybe wanted to try, but you're a little bit iffy. So that's when you have time to make a mistake. All you need is like one great image from that session, right? This is the time for you to go and try new things. At some point I want to do a live on that also, how to use this to improve your photography. So that was question number 2. All right, now question number 3 is funny, because the question is, how can I improve my photography? So first thing you need to do is to follow this channel, right? Is to follow this channel. Is follow me on Instagram, like claysouzaofficial. That's the best way to improve your photography. Okay, but what I want to talk about this is like excuse me, I came back from the mountains with some type of allergy or something. I don't know. So how can I improve my photography? If there is one, and this is a whole class, course, or whatever in itself. There's so many things that can be said about this, and we don't have time. So what I'm going to say is, this serves to everybody. Every time you go out shooting, have a purpose, right? You guys know I'm all about business, all about purpose, right? Grab a model, grab a family, relative, daughter, son, whatever it is. Go out there with one single purpose. Let's say your purpose could be, I'm going to get better at directing, and focus on that purpose. All right? Or I'm going to get better at posing. I'm going to get better at posing hands. I'm going to get better at composition. I'm going to get better at lighting, and work with that model or whoever it is, but work focus on that purpose. So it's all about you at that point. Okay, it's all about you getting better. That's why you're doing that. You're getting better. So that's the best way. And I'll tell you a story about this. A few years back, I started looking at my photography and started seeing a repetition of things that I've been doing over and over and over again. Right? This happened like 2 or 3 years back. I look at the pictures like, this looks like something that I've done before. This looks like something that I've done before. And at that point, we were busy enough, but we're not as busy as we are now. We hadn't grown as much. And I had a few weekends that I had off, and I made a decision to say, for the remainder, it was like around June or July, and I said, for the remainder of the year, I'm going to shoot every weekend. If I have a client, of course I'm going to shoot a client. If I don't have a client, I'm going to pick a model and I'm going to shoot. And my mindset for those photo shoots was, one, I'm going to create a really solid portfolio. So I wanted to fit in what I need. If I need a high school senior, I would find a younger model. If I need some engagement, I would find a couple who want like a free engagement session. Things like that. All right. So tailor for what you need, and then apply the thing that I was talking about a few minutes ago, which is work with a purpose. So when I went out with those models, with those couples, I would have one purpose in mind. Today I'm going to do something that I've never done before. Today I'm going to try this different composition. Today I'm going to try this different light. Today I'm going to try 2 light setup. Today I'm going to try 3 light setup. And today I'm going to try shoot just natural light. Right? So that number one, I created a really solid portfolio at that point, right? I remember we were lacking a lot of engagement sessions, so I found like a bunch of couples and I gave a free engagement session, 2 or 3 images, I don't remember what it was, and if they want to buy more, I even made some sales. But remember, the goal of this thing is not for you to sell. The goal is for you to work on your photography, all right? That's the primary goal. If you make a sale, great. Don't make this, oh, I'm going to practice and make a sale, because that doesn't work. That doesn't work. You're not getting clients. You're getting people to help you to build your portfolio and get better at photography. Okay? So, and I did this for 6 months, and I'll tell you, it's like every weekend, if I didn't have a client, I was shooting something, right? I was shooting some model, some type of, any type of thing. And I'll tell you, it helped a lot. It helped a lot. I got busy. I got better at editing. I got better at composition. I got better at lighting. I got better at directing and posing. Right? I would find couples that would be challenged to pose and challenge myself, because this is all about challenge yourself. If you don't challenge yourself, you're not going to get nowhere. But you know what? You can't be afraid of it. You just have to jump. The time to start is now. It's not tomorrow. Tomorrow, yesterday, too late. Tomorrow's going to be a knock at the door. You're not going to have anything done. Let's start now. Let's start planning now. So you're going to come to in winter time. It's time when things slow down a little bit. So let's plan. Plan for the next month. Plan for the month of November. Look at your calendar and see how many weekends you have open, and plan photo shoots. Buy dresses. Buy props. You don't have to buy expensive stuff. Just buy stuff that you're going to use and reuse for your photo shoot. Okay, we have a bunch of dresses. We have wedding dresses. We have high school senior dresses. A lot of our high school seniors wear our dresses because they are beautiful. So it allows me to create better images. But have a plan. Go out. You need to be honest to yourself. You need to look at this and say, where is my weakest point? It's my weakest point: composition, lighting, directing, posing, whatever it is. And this is what I'm going to work on. You go out there and you work on it, right? If you come home and if you don't think that you achieved your goal, then you're going to go back again next weekend and work on that goal again. You're going to keep working on that goal until you achieve what you wanted. Only move to the next goal once you have achieved one goal. Don't try to work on a lot of stuff at the same time. It's a strategy called divide and conquer. You divide where your challenges are and you conquer one by one. And as you go conquering those challenges, you're going to see the other ones are going to get better, because you did one, you conquered two. You know you can do this. You know you can do it, right? But if you sit at home and just say, oh, I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't have that, nothing's going to happen. 1 year is going to go by, you're going to be in the same place. And the reason I'm saying this a lot is that a few weeks ago, I got hooked up, I got connected to a photographer who, it's been 5 years. He used to shoot a lot, and then something happened in his life, he had to stop, and he's coming back. That's 5 years that he's coming back. 5 years that he's trying to come back, and he's not coming back. Guess what? It's 5 years went by, he didn't do anything. We talked about this, or I'm telling you, I told him to do this. You got to do this, this, and that. I'm going to do it, blah, 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 blah. Nothing happened. Now, 5 years later, we met again, like, man, I'm still in the same place or what. Because time goes by. Time's not going to wait for you. So the time to start is now. It's not tomorrow, it's not next week. It is now. It's like a diet, right? Everybody starts diet on Monday. I don't know why. But I start on Monday. No, you're not going to start on Monday. You got to start now. All right? So look at yourself in the mirror. Look at your photography, see where you are, see where you want to go, and do a plan. And write a plan and execute it. Okay? So every weekend, guys, make this commitment. Every weekend you go out, shoot something. When I'm talking about shooting something, it's also not like, oh, I have a glass of water here, I'm going to take pictures of it. Okay? Because I've seen those, like, one picture, 365 pictures a year, whatever it is. Dude. People taking pictures of the glass on the table. People take pictures of a tripod, pictures of the moon. That doesn't take you anywhere. Why are you doing this? Stop. That's nonsense. Stop this. If you're going to go out with your gear, it's got to be, you have to have a purpose. You have to have a purpose. It needs to move you in the direction that you want to go. Be whatever it is. Whatever it is. Right? It blows my mind how people get caught up on those trends and then go back. Now, if you're doing this, go back like in the beginning of the year. How have you improved? How much you have improved? You need to be and I get excited about this, guys. I'm sorry, but we need to be accountable for our success. Nobody's going to knock at your door and here's a bunch of success. Take it. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And no success comes with hard work. It's hard work. Every one of us who are successful work hard. worked hard to get there and work hard to stay there and to move forward. It's not happening. If you're not moving, if your needle didn't move for the whole year, it's 1 year of your life that you have wasted. You gotta keep moving. You gotta keep moving forward, and you need a goal. You need directions. You need to know, I'm in point A. I'm going to move to point B, and where point B is. How do I get there? Write a plan. You want help? Hit me up. Send me a DM. I'm glad to work with you. I'm glad to sit down with you and show you, hey, this is what I think you should do. This is based on what you need. Just hit me up, guys. I'm offering you free advice of somebody who was there where a lot of you are 3-4 years ago, right? And I didn't have anybody to tell me this. If I can help you with this, let me know. I'm here to help you, okay? And I'll stop talking about this and get to our topic tonight, which is, let's talk a little bit about Aperture. Aperture. I've been watching people images and I'm like, what's happening? What you doing here? All right, Aperture. There's this thing that everybody wants shoot wide open, right? Everybody thinks that the cool thing shoot wide open. Do you guys agree with that? Everybody wants shoot wide open. If you agree, just hit that heart there for me. Keep your finger on that heart. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. Let me see. Everybody wants that bokeh. Everybody wants this. Everybody wants that. The question is, do you need that all the time? Is that really what makes an awesome photography? Or do you know how much depth of field you need? Because depth of field is not just like, I'm going to put it wide open and shoot. Now there's more to it, right? And this is what I want to show you. So this is going to improve your composition. This is going to improve your images. You're going to be more conscious on which location you pick to shoot, where you put people to shoot, the way you do the composition and distance from the subject, all that type of stuff. True story. I was mentoring this photographer and she came to me and said, and I asked her, send me your 5 best images. If you have mentored with me, you know I do this. Send me your 5 best images. This is the first thing that I ask. I want to see your 5 best. I want to see your 5 best images. Why do I ask for the best images? Because I don't want people to get hints that, oh, but this, but that. No, it's a best image. You got to give me a best image, because we all have an excuse why the image didn't turn out the way you wanted. We all have that excuse, right? Stop making excuse. It didn't come the way you wanted. You probably did something wrong, all right? Anyway, I asked her to show me your 5 best images. So she showed me the 5 best images, and I picked one in particular. Said, what are you doing here? The picture was a very cute kid sitting down in this bush, like a bush of flowers, like big bush of flowers all over on the background. Okay, and I asked, so what are you trying to do here? Talk to me a little bit about this picture. And she goes like, yeah, yeah, this is good because I'm glad that I sent you this picture because of this and that. So, and I asked her, what were your settings here? So she gave me her settings. I think her aperture was between like 3.5 or 4, something like that. And I was like, well, why did you shoot that? Why don't you have that background blurred? What happened there? So start talking about what makes makes bokeh, right? Because bokeh is made of 3 pieces. If you don't know this, write down right now. Because this is going to, if you don't know it, write down right now, because a lot of people think that it's just open up and shoot. It's not. There's more to it. So first of all, to create good bokeh, you have to have a wider aperture. You don't need to be fully wide open, but you have to have a wider aperture. Okay, number 1. Number 2 is the distance, the subject distance to the background. The subject distance to the background. I'm pretty close to this screen back here, so that's going to be hard to blur that screen if you shoot at 2.8 or 3.2 or something like that. And the third one is the distance, your distance as a photographer to the subject. So, recapping. 3 things that make great bokeh. And this is your second chance to write it down. Let's go. So, subject distance to the, aperture. First, a wider aperture, okay? Subject distance to the background, and the camera distance to the subject. The further the subject is from the background, the more bokeh you have. And the closer the camera is to the subject, the more bokeh you have. That's just the way it is. Okay? So those 3 things. So, and I'm talking to her about this, and she's like, well, and she's giving all this kind of excuse, and she goes like, well, but I didn't have room. I couldn't back up. I couldn't back up to zoom in. I couldn't put the kid away from, the kid had to be closer to the tree, to the flowers, because they didn't have room. And I said, well, she's like, it's not my fault. I said, it is your fault. Who picked the location? Did Mom pick the location? No, I picked the location, so it's your fault. It's your fault. Let's face it. Okay? So, what I'm going to show you today, like different ways of creating bokeh, that sometimes you don't need everything out of focus. You need some elements out of focus, and then you need some element almost in focus, but a little bit out of focus. And I'm going to show you what I mean by sharing an image. Where is my button? Where did it go? My share image button. Where did it go? Instagram, what did you do? Did they, they removed the button over here. Come on. They keep changing. Every time I come here, it's different. Let me find the album. Where is it? Camera roll, no. Recent, no. Instagram reel, the walk and shot videos. Where did it go? Oh my goodness, Instagram. Am I on the wrong phone? No, I'm on my iPhone. Let's open this one here. All right, cool. Let's look at this guy first. Is this one first? This one here first. All right, let's look at that one in there. So, can you see the settings of the picture there? That's shot at 3.5, ISO 200. The comments is right where the settings are. So it's 3.5, 1:200, 3.5, ISO 200. Why did I shoot that picture at 3.5 and not at 2.8? Because I want the focus to be on the flowers, right? If I had shot the image at 2.8 based on the distance where they are, they would be way out of focus. You could probably, would be hard to figure out what is going on right there. Would have been like a blur or something. All right? So this is what I'm saying. It's like I have bokeh, but I have enough bokeh to bring attention to my subject, which is in this case the flowers, okay? But still show something in the background. Bride and groom kissing over there. Okay? So that's why it's 3.5. That's why it's not 2.0. It's not 1.4. Because at the point that we're creating something like that, what happens is that we want to go wide open. We want that milky, very nice backdrop there. And bride and groom are going to be unrecognizable. People are not even going to say, not be able to tell you, oh, there are 2 people over there, because it's too much bokeh. So too much bokeh sometimes is a bad thing. All right, that's why it's being shot at 3.2. Does that make sense? If that doesn't make sense, hit the heart button there, guys. Let's see. Let's see. I just need to know if you guys getting it. If you guys getting it. As long as you guys not asking questions, I don't know if you got it or not. But that's the idea. All right. So it's for that to happen. What we need to do? We need to have the final picture in our minds. So what I keep talking about this all the time here in this channel, we need to have a plan. You can't just get in there and try to shoot and hope that's going to work. No, you have to have a plan. When I took that picture, I knew exactly, when I posed them, I knew exactly what I wanted. I knew exactly where I wanted the bokeh, those flowers. I knew exactly where to put them. And I'm going to tell you, I remember doing that picture. I lay down on the ground and I'm taking the picture and I look at the camera and I'm like, no, they're too blurry in the background, and I'm closing the aperture. I'm increasing the lighting on them. I think I have like light camera left in that case. And I'm increasing the lighting on them because I'm closing the aperture, so I'm losing light. So until when I look at the camera, okay, this is what it is. Okay, so that is one of them that I wanted to show you. And then there's another one, the same shot almost. This comes into that thing that I talked about the other day of I think there's a post on that, or it was a live about exploring the poses, and then we did that one. You know, same thing, just a different crop on the image, right? Just a different composition, but it's very same image, very same settings. All right. So remember that I talked about like having two working on the locations and poses as much as you can. Yeah, that's another image over there. Okay, same setting, same thing. All I did was I got closer, or zoomed in a little bit, I changed my angle. I think the other one is vertical, right? This one is horizontal, something like that. All right, so we did that too. Yeah, it could be better. As I look at this image right now, I say, yeah, maybe if the groom had, you know, bent his knee a little bit, would bring a little bit of movement there. Yeah, it would be better. Could be better, but it's there. It's very easy to criticize after the thing is done, right? All right, so that's one thing that I want to talk about. So watch for that bokeh. Not everything needs to be 100% out of focus on the background. Sometimes you want to show stuff. Let me show you this one here. And I can show you this one because this was the wedding that we shot this weekend. And this is her bridal portrait, one of her bridal portrait images, right? Okay, that image there, shot that image there. Okay, so look at those settings now. I was shooting it with a 7200, 1/200 of a second, f2.8, ISO 125. What I want to show you here is, look at the difference in bokeh from where the fountain is on her right side and her left side background, right? So now you look at me and say, well, 2.8, everything should be light setup, one light, camera left, where her nose is pointing to. One light, 2 AD 200s inside a mag box, camera left. So what happened there? How do you do that? How do you do the layering on the background there, on the bokeh? Because I want the fountain and the water a little bit out of focus, but I didn't want it so out of focus that you could not recognize it was a fountain there, right? So this is another chance to write this down. What are the three things that make bokeh? Aperture, a wider aperture, the distance, the subject's distance to the background, and your distance to the subject. In that case, I'm totally wide open with my 7200. I'm at 2.8, but I position her not as far from the fountain as the background is. So the distance of her to the fountain is shorter than what is further down the background. That's why the fountain, you can still recognize the fountain, but at the end there, you don't know how many trees are out there. They all get blended up, right? So now I'm using her distance to the background to layer the levels of bokeness. Is that a word? Just made up a word here, bokeness, right? The level of bokeness that I want in that picture. Okay? If you like that, hit that heart button there. If that is something new that you just learned now. Okay? So, remember, what creates bokeh is not only how wide your lens is open. It is how wide it's open. It is the subject distance to the background and your distance to the subject. Alright? In that case, I'm bringing the 7200 really close and I'm shooting that image. Okay? Does that make sense now? Right? So you see how you're layering this bokeh thing. It's not all wide open all the time. And now let's talk a little bit about composition. Let's stop being afraid of creating amazing different compositions. Let me show you this image here that I shot with my buddy Brandon in DC last year, I guess. Boom, right there. That's the image, right? You see the settings on the top there. Okay, do not be afraid of extreme compositions, right? Show the architecture around them. Don't make them all the time the primary subject. What happens is this, guys, nobody's going to buy a 30 by 40, a 50 by 60 of their faces and put on the wall, right? This is the type of picture that goes on the wall, goes to big size on the wall because they're small, and nobody's going to buy an 8 by 10 of those neither because they're too tiny. Get it? That's how you shoot for the sale. That thing goes on anybody's house as a metal, as an acrylic, or as a canvas on the wall, big size because they are small, and it's such a beautiful image, not because they created it, but it's such a beautiful image. And look at those settings over there. What's my aperture there? 7.1, 7. I don't know. It's behind behind Instagram's interface there. I think 7.1, 7.3, I guess. Right? So why do I have such a close aperture? Because I want to show everything. In that case, I want to show the background. I do not want the beauty of that architecture being blurred. Right? That was, I believe that was a 7200. I think that was a 7200, Celester. Yeah, they were high. I was down here and I just zoomed in and shot it. Right? At 7.1. There's quite a distance there between them and the background. You see the closer because of compression, right? I walked all the way back down there and just like zoomed in, and shot the image. This is we're talking about decompressing, get a little bit more creative stuff. This is one of those sessions that Brandon and I think there were more people there. No, there was two of us, and that's we got together in DC and shot like a bunch of images there. That was like really nice time and stuff. So then is another one that I want to show you. Is a different composition, and I'm trying to stimulate your minds to stop. Number one, like stop doing everything close-ups, everything close-ups, everything close-up. No, look around you. Start looking at the world a little bit wider. Okay, look at the world a little bit wider. All right, and don't be afraid of trying new compositions. Try vertical, try horizontal, try the frame. Is it the Dutch tilt? That's a little bit. I've been doing this Dutch tilt a lot on my getting ready. I kind of like it. I should stop a little bit, I guess. Let me show you this one. This one is wild. This one's also in DC with Brandon, like one of the photo shoots that we did there. That one is wild, right? So we're shooting all day long, and we're watching this. There's this storm rolling in, right? It's literally like we see the skies is we had like two models at that point, and we literally seen the sky changing. So, and I'm like, we're thinking about this. This is going to be awesome. This is going to be awesome. So we went there. I don't know the name of the monuments there. So we went over there and I saw these two columns. So I'm laying down on the ground. And shooting up. With my wide, at that point I don't remember. It was a 1635. It was a 1124 already, but it was one. I think it was the 16. I don't remember. I really do not remember. I know that Doug was with us. It was Brandon, myself, and Doug. I don't remember. It was either the 1635 or the 1124. I'm shooting horizontal, but you see, key to that image is, you see how you may not notice this much, but she's leaning towards the lenses. She's leaning towards, I'm here on the ground, she's leaning towards me to balance the distortion a little bit. Because think about this, let's think about this a little bit. Everything that's closer to the camera looks bigger, correct? So if I'm laying down and shooting up, so her legs, her feet are going to be closer to the camera than her head, right? So you're going to disproportionately elongate her. She's going to have like really, really high, tall leg, long legs, and very little body. So what we do, we get her to lean towards the camera, so her face is kind of lining up with her feet. That's how we correct it. Where's the mic? Boom. Right? Mic drop. Did you know that? Did you know that? If you didn't know that, hit that heart button there. Let me see. Let me see if you guys knew that. If you guys are going to say, oh, I already knew that. Right? I'm picking on you today. Damn. Yeah, I want to see those hearts going up. Yep. So, every time you're shooting wide, always remember, everything that's closer to the camera looks bigger. So, why do we pose women with the hips away from the camera? Away from the camera. Away from the camera. Because the hips are moving too, they're looking bigger than what they are. Unless it's a skinny person who's going to like have bigger hips, that's fine. But most of the time it's not the case, right? So we never want to portray a woman bigger than what she really is. Okay? What time is it? Good morning. Almost 9 o'clock already. Guys, this is what I wanted to show you today. I do have a bunch of other images here, but we're not going to have time. Let me see. How do I get out of here? Oh man, Instagram keeps changing stuff. Now I have my comment box here that I can't see. Hold on a sec. Hang tight there, guys. Hang tight. How do I take this image? Oh, there you go. There you go. Found it. All right, cool. Now you're back at me here. Cool. So I hope this is helpful. I hope this is going to help you to move your photography from where it is to a better place. Let's recap a little bit, right? Have a plan. Go out, shoot every weekend. Make a plan. Make a 4-week plan. All right. Get props if you need to. Thrift store is a great place for props. Get some baskets. Get some like flowers, some cheap flowers, or some you go somewhere, find some weeds with flowers, and create something. I mean, guys, just create like a flower crown, whatever it is, right? Go out shooting, get creative, experiment with new composition, experiment with bokeh, experiment with that. Try to layer your background as much as you layer your foreground. I've been teaching you how to layer the foreground. Today I taught you how to layer the background. And remember the rules of bokeh. It is open. Open doesn't mean wide open all the time, okay? Wider aperture, the distance, the subject distance to the background, and your distance to the subject. The closer you are to the subject, the bigger is going to be the bokeh back there. So keep that in mind. Have a goal, have a purpose. Go out there and get it done. Let's get shit done. It's written right here. Let's get shit done, right? Because nobody's going to give it to you on a silver plate. Okay? Thank you so very much for watching. I really appreciate you guys being here today. Again, I want to apologize for Wednesday that I wasn't here, couldn't be here. But listen, I'm going to be on vacation for 3 weeks in the middle of November, from November 13th. But I will record videos and put on my YouTube channel. All right, so you're gonna still have the videos going on. You guys can go there and watch it. Okay, so I'm going to start recording, and those are going to be live shootings. I'm going to start this week. I'm going to start bringing models and do live shootings. We're going to do everything that we've been talking about: theory, posing, directing, everything. We're going to do live with a model to show you. And when I'm on vacation, you guys can go there and watch it. Okay, you're going to keep learning. You don't want to stop. My commitment to you is big, and this is what we're going to do. We're going to be on vacation, but the videos are going to be released on YouTube like every week. You're going to release 1 or 2, and you guys can watch it. Right? So again, thank you so much for staying here. If you like this, if you think this is helping you, please tell your friends, bring your friends over. Let's get that channel big and some really good people there for us to all learn together. Thank you so much for staying here, and I will see you next Wednesday at 8:08 p.m. Eastern Time with Clay Souza Official. Bye, guys. Thank you. Have a good night. Bye.